Hey, there we go. Okay, so YouTube is good. Twitch is good. I think we are golden to start painting. Although first I need to actually get this water changed because this is still from last time. And that's, well, if nothing else, it's low. But I think having some clean water in it would probably be better. Okay. So got that. Now, get in position so I can start doing the painting. I moved my camera around so it's in a little bit less easy position, but the bright side is that now I should be able to paint and all that stuff without actually being in the way of the camera. Okay. Now we want to essentially start getting some of the little tassels that they've got on their helmets. Figure we're gonna go with a red on that. I might actually start just priming these by hand rather than spraying them. Hey, Rue. That's a good girl. Got my happy little Rue coming up behind. And she's just enjoying life. Ain't that right, pup? I'm just picturing her in this tiny little dog voice going, I would enjoy it a lot more if you gave me more treats. And that is fair. She would probably like things better if she got more treats. But we can't have everything we want, can we, pup? This one will probably do nicely. Let me make sure that this is in view, because I actually have not really done a whole lot of testing here with this setup. Okay, so if I'm holding it like this, yeah, that is in view of the camera. That is very good. It's a nice dark red, but I think I might want a brighter red for these, like, helmet tassel things. It doesn't really pop, you know? Which it does kind of fit with the paint name. It is blood red. And this is more like dark arterial blood red rather than a, like, bright red. This might actually be okay once it dries a little, because that does look nice and bright red on paper towel. Maybe as it dries or thins or something, it'll look a little bit brighter. Let me try a slaughter red, see how that looks. That is a way more bright looking red, at least from the drops. Let's compare it on this model. Yeah, that is a nice bit brighter. I like that more. So I think we might still use the blood red for some of the other spots. But I like this slaughter red better. That looks quite nice. Just go ahead and put that over this. Curious, can I extend this arm forward? Does that block into the camera view any? It does not, and that does help to brighten it up a little bit more directly. I do think I'm going to order like a ring light or something. But that'll be factored onto next month's budget. Although next month is almost here. Nice. I will say the camera angle's not perfect, but it is pretty decent, compared to last time at least. Yeah. Definitely like how these are looking. But could definitely use better lighting. So, yeah. Okay, so that's all the hair bits done. I want to get this a little bit more on this one. Nice. Okay. I think I'm going to put the same red onto the, like, handle portion of this, this one's the Achilles Dreadnought. Achilles Contemptor. Almost feel like I need a Q-tip or something just in case I have a little bit of overpaint. Right now I'm just kind of getting it with my fingers, and that works, but it's not the best. Now, use this red on the cloak. Need to reposition the camera just a smidge. Let me get it more so to right about here. I think that'll be a little better. Yeah. That's a bit better. I think I do want to use some of this blood red on the cloak. Give it that like deep dark red. That looks really nice. I've yet to be disappointed by the army painter stuff. Generally, coat's very nice. Has good colors. And overall, just good experience using them so far. We'll leave his cloak as it is. Okay. Oh, hello. You don't need to roll that far, paintbrush. Let's grab up a couple more models to paint. Got a lot of detail work to do on these guys, but I will come back to that. Another 5-man squad of shields, which I've got 6. Ah, this guy had an Aquila or a Vexilla that broke. Yeah, I need to fix that. I've got guard squad with spears, captain with spear, and I've got 2 more Vexillas. So, let's go ahead and move the 2 dreads out of the way. Move these guys over here. Then I'll go ahead and patch up the Vexilla real quick. Feel like I should just hook this up to the helping hand, but that should stay put. Got my Vexillas there. Okay. So now to get the nice gray down, which I was using this one here, this battleship gray. And the brush I was using the other day was this one. Yeah. Sweet. Now I can go ahead and just start getting these guys all grayed up. This guy's missing a piece. Notice his shin is kind of not there. At least get the rest of them primed, and I'll just set them to the side and see if I can find the sheet that he came from. This is just going to be a simple thing of I accidentally did not get that boot finished up. Or that shin finished up. Should be a simple fix. No one else is missing a boot, right? Yeah, I like how that looks so far. Already looks better than just the mono black that they were. The gray definitely helps to give it a bit more depth to it. Yeah, I had too much paint loaded up that time, but that's fine. I can basically just spread it around. Spread the love. He's already basically gray on the back, so definitely didn't get him primed very well. Oh well. Nothing else. That's another thing that going over them with a little bit of gray helps with, is fills in any of the spots that I missed while priming it. Gets it ready to soak up all that lustrous gold. I like gold! As much as I don't watch movies, I have at least seen Austin Powers. And I'll probably end up making more Austin Powers related and adjacent jokes whenever I go to paint my great unclean ones. As if there's a model that embodies Fat Bastard, that's pretty much about as close as you get. Okay. That looks better. We have triumphant sword guy. Sword raised, shield at the side, and a marching stance. Or kind of a, not marching, that'd be more of like an advancing slash sauntering charge. A lumbering stride. Okay, that's looking good. Me using this, I might need to add some more Battleship Gray to my shopping list. Definitely plan on picking up some more of the greedy gold. Which I feels like is a very good... Wow, I feel like it's a very good color for the Custodes. I wouldn't exactly call the Custodes greedy, but I would definitely say that the color fits for them quite nicely. Okay, get up. I do find it funny just how few models you get in an army for Custodes. Like what I've got here in front of me is actually almost an entire army. Each set of 5 of these guys here are 200 points, and you only get 2,000 points in a max game, or a standard game. The Dreadnoughts are about 170 points each. The Captains are 120 or 110, I think. And the Blade Champion is like 120, 140. I think most of my lists with Custodes have like 20 to 30 models total for the entire 2,000 points. Where it's like AdMech, you can have, For the cost of one 5-man guard squad here, you can almost have 30 rangers, which come in 10-man squads for 80 points. Now, admittedly, the custodians are much more durable, but in just a pure numbers game, custodians get outmatched pretty readily by most things just because, well, they don't have the bodies to field. But every single basic model in the Custodes is generally as strong as leader models in other armies. So it makes sense. It's one of those, they don't win very much just because, you know, they don't have presence on the field, but killing them is honestly difficult. Because they are extremely durable and very, very healthy. I say very, very. It's like a standard custodian guard has 3 wounds, and the shield gives another wound on each one. Where most of your, like, captains in a Space Marine squad will have 3 wounds. 3 or 4 wounds. So, you know, they are quite durable, they are quite tough, and let's face it, they have really cool models. They are just plain cool. Sec. Hey. Yeah, I definitely didn't do a very good job of priming these guys. Lots of spots, like the underside of the spear is basically just base gray still. It's like I hit him literally from this one angle and basically got nothing else. Guess I must have been in a rush or something. Granted, it's been quite a while since I've touched these guys. I've been very, very lazy. And, well, a bit on the busy side, but that's no true excuse for completely ignoring them. There we go. And some weird, like, gunk or something stuck on top of the spear. Yeah, okay, so I need to hold them right about here-ish. That fits, that works. Thankfully, the ones that are nicely primed like this, I can at least I can at least not have to use much of the gray. So I'm using Army Painter Speed Paint Battleship Gray to go over the black primer that's on them. So it's kind of just a light bluish gray that seems to help the gold come through a bit better on when they get to the next stage of painting. Don't know if it actually helps, but it seems to. And welcome in. Never noticed this guy had a mohawk. using this battleship gray, and the armor color that they're getting is greedy gold with slaughter red for the hair. Let's see here. I'll definitely say I'm not sure it's the best method or best options. But trying out different things because I haven't actually done this on any of my other models before. And I figure, hey, you know, I've got all these paints, I might as well give it a try and see how well it actually takes. And I like how it turned out on the first guys that I did, so figure, I've already started. May as well keep to it. Wound up moving the camera over my left shoulder. I had it over the right previously, but what I found was, since I'm right-handed, when I go to paint, I would literally be like this the entire time for a viewpoint, where it's like my hand and paintbrush were constantly in the way of the camera. So I was like, okay, let me move this over to the left shoulder, see how that looks. So the cables are a little bit more in the way now than they were before, but I think it's at least more viewable and less, well, annoying looking. Because when I started painting on Friday, I was like, okay, I literally cannot make out much of what I'm doing, because all I'm seeing in the camera is just my hand and brush in the way constantly. I figure next month's budget, I'm going to get maybe a ring light or something that I can put up. Something to help the lighting be a bit brighter and better for viewing and whatnot. It's not too dark, it's just not bright enough in here. Like, I got some small lamps, but the light is just too bright from them and doesn't seem to go out far enough, so it just, I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird. Diffusers, huh? That might work. like the empty hand on this custody. He's kind of just got his hand like, huh. His head's kind of tilted up at an angle, just like he's deep in thought or something. Just like, I thought this one was kind of funny. Probably. Custodian, custody, custodi, custode, custard. Banana boy. Funny, I actually had started assembling these guys at the end of 9th edition, or at least in 10th before they put out their actual codex. And the Vexilla was actually good before. Because when assigning the Vexilla to their unit, that's the standard bearers here, or the eagle bearers, like, you would assign a Vexilla for giving them ignoring cover, a Vexilla that would give them feel no pain, and a Vexilla that would give them, I forget what the third benefit was, but the benefits were actually there, and now all the Vexilla does is you say, hey, they cannot use the Guardian Spear or the Sentinel Blade, and so you no longer have a shooter with them at all, and they get +1 objective control to the unit, which +1 objective control isn't bad, but when you're already talking an army with limited number of shots per turn, and then you're effectively reducing a 5-man squad's attack power by 20% from range, like, and they have to use the Misericordia for their close combat weapon, which is a absolute garbage weapon comparatively. It's like the Vexillas don't feel even remotely usable. I suppose they might be more useful than I give them credit for, considering Custodes are, I think these guys are 2 objective control per model, so that's 10 for the whole unit, or 15 with a Vexilla. So that means that you would need a fairly sizable enemy squad to take an objective off them, but they're not going to be able to hold said objective from, or defend the objective as easily. So, I don't know. I think it goes back to that like mindset when I played Pokemon as a kid, where it was always stat boosting attacks were neat, but I'll never use them because I would rather just KO the enemy in one hit or 2 attacks rather than spend 2 or 3 turns boosting my power so I can just one-shot them later. As you give the enemy too much time to just build up their own or counter your build up, and then you just get screwed. So nowadays I will sometimes use the stat modifying moves, but I don't know. It's just more fun just to destroy things and overwhelm and quickly rather than slowly or just playing the long game. Well, it is kind of funny in a few ways, because I know, like, going back to the Pokemon example, like, if you know that it's going to take 2 hits to take out the opponent, then using Swords Dance or something, which will make you double in power each time you use it, makes sense, because you can do 1 Swords Dance and 1 attack, and then you'll one-shot their Pokemon. But now you've given them a chance to take you out while you've used that Swords Dance. And then you've wasted your turn. You haven't done any damage to them because what if they're faster and they KO you before you actually get to kill them? And then now you've just given them a free knockout. Whereas if you can't one-shot them, or if you don't spend the turn building up, then you've at least done damage to them if they're faster than you. And if you do spend all that time building up your speed and power and stuff, then they could just literally swap out to something that you can't hit anymore, or that is a perfect counter to you. Okay, looks like that adhered good. That's good. This Vexilla actually broke earlier, so being a little extra careful with how much pressure I put on it. But the cement seems to have held on, or made it hold pretty good. Okay. Very nice. know. I'm looking forward to next month with Final Fantasy Tactics coming out on Steam. It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy Tactics, but I remember absolutely loving the heck out of that game years ago. Spent so many hours playing it. Suppose my only concern at this point is if it's as good as I remember it, or if it's just the nostalgia for me. It's a very relaxing music. It's actually some lo-fi music that is supposedly royalty-free and allowed for use in streaming. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics for Steam is coming out actually tomorrow. So, yay. So I wasn't planning to pre-order it because I've already gone a smidge over budget this month. But they do have some pre-order benefits. So it's like, well, you gotta give my money a little sooner. It's not gonna hurt me to do it. Just means I'm spending a smidge of next month's budget today. Which I genuinely don't like doing very often. I need to watch the Jingle Jam stuff. I actually haven't ever really sat down and watched that while it's live. I like the idea of it. This year I'll actually have time for it, so I'll probably end up doing that. You've definitely said good things about Jingle Jam before, so I figure it's probably pretty good. big project coming up? Or the office blocks the streaming for it? See, that's just dumb. It's like, if it's not affecting people's productivity, like, why block it? Like, it's a charity thing, it's something that can help to boost someone's morale and keep people happy. Like, just let people watch their streams or have it on in the background. And let people enjoy their time at the office, whether they're supposed to have fun or not. Like, work shouldn't feel like a punishment. Possibly, but at the same time, it's that moment of like, if they're having bandwidth issues from people streaming, like, do they really have a very decent pipe? Like, streaming doesn't take that much. %. Like, I don't know why, it just seems like a lot of people don't think that you should have fun when you're in the office or enjoy your time in the office. Yep. Turns out the office is actually run by emotional vampires that feed off the suffering of their employees and contractors. Like, people aren't suffering enough. I'm starting to get a little thin here. We need to make them suffer more. That way, we feel better about ourselves. Agreed, we need to make people suffer. We'll start with our employees and then move out to the rest of the populace. Shield's in just the right spot to be a bitch to work around. Of course. Life outside of the office is a rumor. And it's a dangerous rumor at that. While you're here, you should only be focused on your work and productivity. The bottom line is the single most important thing to you. Did your child hurt themselves at school? Too bad. You need to focus on this. You can have more children. You can't have more jobs. I mean, you're not wrong on the point of a shield. But it does make painting around it a bitch when I've already got it assembled. It's like, if I was going to do this again, I would, you know, paint the shield before attaching it to the body. And paint the body that goes behind the shield before attaching said shield. At least a lot of these have, like, the shield is a decent way forward so you can at least get the brush in. That one, and like, the shield is pressed right up against the shoulder, right up against the leg. Very little space behind that shield. I also need to figure out what I want to have them based with. Like, what type of ground do I want them on? Do I want them, like, standing on, like, a muddy field in a sandy desert? Do I want to try and do, like, some sort of a concrete or, like, brick ground? Maybe steel plates. I know with this one dreadnought back here, I have this kind of organic blob that he's going to be stepping on, so it's like I could have like concrete around it, and this is like some sort of a mass of like tyrannid goop or something. Hard cast forward from a shadow. Hard cast shadow from a forward light source. Done. You know, one of these custodians, I need to figure out what happened to his leg. Because apparently, either I assembled it and forgot to put the front part of his boot on, or it fell off at some point. And that's going to be a little harder to work with. Like, I have some ideas on how I could fix it if I don't have any more pieces to put on there. Like, I could easily put some, like, sprue goo on the spot to, like, fill it out and build it up to where it's at least a boot rather than a cavity on his leg. And it's just unadorned. I could make it look like he somehow got, like, blasted or something. And part of the boot got destroyed, but he still stands. Make him have almost as much plot armor as Commissar Yarrick. Still can't believe they offed Yarrick like that. Like, all they did was just, well, so I can show you what I'm talking about here. So if you look on this guy, his boot has this, like, fancy, well, if my head gets out of the way, the boot has, like, a fancy eagle design on the front of it. Actually, zoom in further. Of course, it's not going to zoom in further. 1 second. I can actually handle that from here. Not the best quality as it zooms in. But, well, he needs his shoulder put back on. So, yeah, they have this fancy boot, which, of course, again, not the best zoom. But this guy, that fancy boot is, well, he doesn't have, and it's just like a thin sliver of leg. Let me get this back to the correct zoom. That way it's not looking all weird and pixelated and garbage. And I don't know exactly what happened to the boot, because I was just grabbing them off their tray where they've been sitting for months. And as I go to prime him or put the gray on him, it's like, well, hey guy, where's your boot? You're out of uniform. The delicious fumes. Hey now, I'm sure your freebooters would love to have some custody bits on them. We'll get you last. Actually, it would be kind of funny to take some of these custody shields and put them on, like, freebooters. You're like, yeah, they have these big golden shields that they paint their weird orky symbology onto. Or slap custody pauldrons onto an orc. It's like, of all the armies in Warhammer, orcs can get away with just grabbing stuff from other models and slap it on with minimal stuff done to it and be like, hey, it fits. Definitely something the orcs would do, is just loot, pillage, and reuse and modify. Maybe slap a fresh coat of their color paints on it. Maybe. Actually, thinking about it, does the Jingle Jam do any restreams or anything on like YouTube? Alpha Legion Orcs.
Oi! I'm Alpharius! No, you get I'm Alpharius! No, I'm Omegon.
Nova was fun outside of getting sick. And that was just bad luck on my part. Well, it's kind of like the Lionel Johnson orc model that someone did. Like, holy crap, that was an awesome conversion. Like, I'm definitely not into the orcs as much, but I do like some of the conversions that people do on that stuff. Truly, truly creative works. I'll see if I can find it and shoot that over to you here in a little bit then, because it's a really, really well done model. I know it was a Reddit post I saw a while back. It'll just take a little bit of Googling to find it. What's funny, as I was rambling a little bit about points for these guys before you hopped in here, and I was like, it's funny just how few custodies you get in a army. Like, this group that I've got right here with the 5 total dreadnoughts and 15 guard and like 3 captains is almost 2,000 points. It's like each dreadnought, the 3 big dreads back here are 170 points a pop. Then the Achilles and the Gladius dreadnoughts are, I think, 130 and 150. Each 5-man guard squad is 200 points. And each captain is like 110 or 120, I think. Like, they're strong, they're durable. But damn, they don't get many bodies to field. Sec. Changing the music. Go. Then want to do a quick thing here. One sec. Just in my head, I'm wanting to find this stupid Lionel Johnson thing I was talking about. Because I don't want to forget about it while I'm still thinking about it. I know that's a really dumb way of saying that. I don't want to forget about it while I'm thinking about it. I will say that the custodian weapons are strong, but just from a sheer numbers point of view, like a good example is if I were to bring my AdMech, let's say I brought a equal, like this unit here is 500 points or 200 points for these 5 guys. And you don't even get any burgers and fries for those 200 points. They can pump out a total of 10 shots per turn, hitting on 2s. So you're likely going to get about 8 hits on average. They are strength 4. Yeah, they're strength 4 for their shooting. So on average against other infantry, probably going to end up getting about 5 to 6 wounds, AP 1 or AP 2 damage 2. So they're probably going to take out about 5 enemy models per turn. Whereas a Skitarii Ranger squad with 10 guys is 80 points. That means you can field almost 30 Rangers for this one 5-man group. 30 Rangers will pump out roughly 70 shots per turn, hitting on 2s if you have them set up right. They have 3 Transuranic Arquebus, which each do 3 damage per shot with AP minus 3 or 4. They have plasma cannons, galvanic rifles. On average, they would probably take out about 2 custodians, maybe 3 custodians per turn. For the most part, I will agree with that. Like, they are quite strong. And, like, legitimately, if you bring their tanks, like the Land Raiders, which I feel are undercosted, a Land Raider is 220 points. And the thing gets 4 shots with its Godhammer las cannons, hitting on 2s with, like, strength 12, damage d6 plus 3. It's like, it's going to likely hit you, and you are likely going to fail your save because it's like an AP minus 3 or AP minus 4 weapon. And it's likely going to kill whatever it hits. And then it still has another, like, 9 or 10 shots of weapons per turn. And it literally costs 20 more points than 5 guards. Yep. Like, essentially, the only thing that can really scare it is a Imperial Knight or Chaos Knight, and even then, the Land Raider still gets a 4-up invuln on top of a 2-up save. And you can still pop smoke on it, giving, I think, -1 to the enemy shooting or something like that. Which is just ridiculous. And if the Land Raider happens to get to go before that knight, it's potentially going to one-shot the knight before it gets to do anything. When the knight costs over 500 points. Yeah, but the orcs also do have some of the scariest melee blobs in the game. You get a horde of boys in close, and there's not a lot that's going to survive that. I think Tyranids are also kind of similar to orcs in the range department. Most Tyranid guns are 18 inches. They have, like, one model that has a 36-inch gun. And the otherwise best shooters they get are, like, 24 inches with, like, maybe 1 or 2 exemptions. I'll definitely say balancing is hard in any game. So I think most of the Tyranids hit on 4s for their range. But they have some restrictions, or they've had some horrible restrictions in the past. Like, I think it was in 7th edition. If they weren't within their synapse range, then if they fought or attacked anything that was not the absolute closest target that they could see, then they got a -1 to their attacks and -1 to their hits and rolls and wounds. I think it was in either 7th or 8th. If you weren't in Synapse, you had to roll a nature. Yeah, I think it was 7th edition. You had to roll a nature for them to see if they would be aggressive, cowardly, or do nothing. So it's like, yeah, you happen to be outside of Synapse? Well, roll. Oh, you rolled this? That means that they now must run as far away from all enemies as possible. Oh, you rolled this? That means that they must now stop doing what they're doing and advance to the nearest enemy. Which, in a way, feels somewhat accurate for Tyranids. But it does feel also like they would at least follow the previous directive they got. Yeah. Like, it makes sense. It's like, without the hive mind, they are kind of just simple-minded beasts. So they're going to just follow whatever nature they have. They might be frightened, they might be broken, whatever. And it's like, I get it from that point of view. But at the same time, if you're playing that, it also feels really bad, because then it's like, well, I feel like I only control about half my army, and I had to pay for the whole army. But each army's had some weird flavor throughout the years, like Necrons. I think it was in either 6th or 7th edition. Necrons had a weird rule where if at any time their army was down to like 25% of its original models on the table, or original points on the table, then they just lose. Because that was deemed that the tomb summoned all of the Necrons back so they could retreat and regroup. Oh yeah. Like, there will always be some people who enjoy the slower gameplay, but that's definitely not going to be the majority. And it's like, one thing I'm glad that they haven't brought back, for vehicles at least, is facing. Because supposedly at one point it was like, if you had a Land Raider, then you could only fire its weapons that were facing the enemy. So you had to have like weapons on pintles and gimbals in order for them to actually shoot otherwise than just straight ahead. And then it's like, oh yeah, your armor. So if you're attacking a tank from the front, then it will be it has this toughness, and from the side it has this toughness, and from the back it has this toughness. And it's like, I get it. From a realism standpoint, it makes sense. Like, I will definitely say it does make sense to say that tanks, vehicles, and even soldiers will have more armor on the front than the back. And more armor probably on the sides than the back. But at the same time, if you have to break out a protractor every time you go to attack something or roll, you're taking the game from being like an hour or two to being all day and the next day. And then you have the chance for pedantic assholes to be like, hey, actually, you measured from the wrong spot here. If you actually measure right, then I have better armor. It does incentivize being better or more careful with moving. I'll agree with that. But it also incentivizes people being like assholes. And to be fair, there are some armies still that actually do have flanking. Like Genestealer Colts, they have a stratagem for one of their forces that is flanking fire. And the way it works is if you can draw a line from your attacking unit to another one of your units through an enemy, then you get bonuses. Because now they're stuck between two units that are flanking it. It's like, I like that idea for it. Because then it's like, okay, like, you're talking, these are just like plastic miniature representations. Like, I think one of the best descriptions that they had in, it was either 8th or 9th edition for why facing didn't matter anymore, was these are representations of the model, and the soldiers and units are presumed to have a battlefield awareness and will face the enemy that they are fighting at all times. Or something like that. Oh yeah. I've definitely fought a couple rules lawyers. And I will say I can definitely understand wanting people to play exactly by the rules. I can. But it's also just a game, and unless there's like money on the line, or you're in a tournament where there's like great prizes or something, like, you shouldn't get uptight about it. Like, I still need to actually look up this one video of a tournament. I saw it pop up in my feed a couple weeks back, and it had this one guy, he had made a move in his movement phase. Said, I end my movement. And then as he goes into the next phase, he's like, wait, I forgot to use this stratagem. And his opponent's like, too bad. And he's like, I haven't done anything else since the movement phase ended. There's been nothing done. I would like to use the stratagem. And he's like, I'm not going to let you do that. You said you ended your movement, so you ended your movement. He's like, nothing has been done since then. There's been no changes. And it's like, I get where his opponent is technically right, because the movement phase ended, but it's like, that's just being a very poor sport. And the phrase, "I will not let you do that." Like, they called the judge over, and the judge, I don't know exactly what he sided with. I assume he sided with the kid that said, "I won't let you do that." Yep. That's why, like, whenever I play anyone, I am always happy to let people take things back as long as there's no changes that could have been done. Like, I use this ability. Oh, well, actually, I really shouldn't here, so I think I'm going to take this back. Or, oh, I forgot to use this, and it really would make a difference for how I play. Or for the outcome of this game. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, take back. Like, I get it. I forget stuff too. And unless I'm in a tournament with money on the line, it's just a friendly game. But I can say in a tournament where money's on the line or anything else is on the line, it's like, I can kind of understand the "I'm not going to let you do that" comment. Because it's like, yeah, you're in a tournament. And if you make a mistake, your opponent is going to capitalize on it. And if they don't, then they might as well have not bothered coming to the tournament. Is it being a good sport? Not in the least. But it is following the letter of the rules. I do want to go and find that video and see exactly what the outcome of it was. Because I know a lot of people were fairly upset about that video. Which I assume it's more just the attitude of the kid that they were upset about. And I can definitely see it from both points. Especially if it's a situation where, like, if the kid did let him go back, then that means the kid is going to lose. So then it's like, well, do you intentionally give up, essentially? Because your opponent made a mistake and you let them fix it? Or do you just say, hey, you made your bed, you gotta lay in it now, sorry. I get that you intended to do this, but you didn't do it. Rules, lawyers, and rules. Hey, cool. Got notification that little thing I ordered is finally shipping, so that's fun. Actually got a board game coming in soon that I backed on Kickstarter. So that'll be fun too. Looking forward to trying that out with my gaming group. The name alone is kind of why I got it. It's called Dungeonator Die in a Dungeon. And your character is actually a polyhedral dice. How many sided dice you use, or which sided dice you use, determines your class. I was like, I like the silly name, I like the pun, I like dumb stuff. I backed that probably about a year ago at this point. Just got a notification, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, that it was finally shipping. That'll be a fun one. Or most likely it'll just go on my shelf and never get played and just sit for all eternity to rot. That's equally likely or more likely. This guy's sword keeps poking my wrist every time I reach over. Brushes. E3 Wave 2, since there's not a ton of incentive to pay now, instead of just... Yeah. Definitely makes sense, like, especially since you probably won't use all the colors that they're putting out as well. So it's like, do you really need to get the whole set of colors? Like, maybe if there's a deep discount and it's like you want over half of them or something, then that would make sense. But I definitely get that sentiment. Plus, money is sadly not unlimited. I was like, the only thing that I was hoping I could get back to the office, at least for the last few months of the year, was so I could actually get a little bit extra capital built up for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Hmm. I'll say I do like a lot of the P3 paints. They were actually what I started using initially. Mostly because I saw the Citadel paints and was like, these are nice, but they're way too expensive. Like, I could get several of the Privateer Press ones for the price of a single pot of the Citadel paint. And being a broke specialist, I just knocked that shoulder off again. Sweet. Being a broke specialist, I didn't exactly want to spend a lot of money on it. There you go. I'll have him just hold his pauldron. Reattach to him here in a little bit. I know a while back I wound up picking up the Army Painter Speed Paint bundles, so I've got a lot of those. There were some pretty good sales they had going at the time. No, they are just standard plastic. My assumption is that when I put it on, I hadn't fully scraped off the old glue very well, because the old glue that I was using on these guys was just standard super glue. And that seems to occasionally break. Where the stuff that I'm using right now is Tamaya cement, which this stuff is, like, it does physically bond them together. Or chemically bond them together. The two dreadnoughts over here, actually they aren't visible on the camera, but the Achilles and the Gladius dreadnought, they are resin. They're Forge World models. And everything Forge World is resin, making them an immediate pain in the ass. Yep. It's one of those, I only recently started using the actual plastic cements and stuff. So, that is a recent change for me. Because I didn't think that there was much of a point to it, because in my brain it was glue is glue. And yes, glue is glue, and this is technically not glue. So, I've been updating, and most of my models that I'm making now get actual plastic cement. Dog Welder's a terrifying hero. It's like, that's not much of a hero, per se. Guys, Dog Welder is one of those characters that I'm surprised ever got greenlit. Again, you're not wrong. That's one of those, like, for the longest, that was how I thought about it. That glue is glue. What's it matter? And yeah, like, now I'm just trying to make use of at least decent quality plastic glue, plastic cement, whatever they want to call it. Hey, Rue. I always find it funny whenever I'm painting. Rue likes to come in and just stare at me like, you know, you could be petting me, you could be giving me treats or taking me outside or anything else, but no, you're gonna sit here and play with your little plastic figures instead of paying attention to me. I'll definitely say I don't know much about Dog Welder or comics in general. So you could make it up and I would probably believe that that could be the case for it. I doubt that you're making it up there, but again, like, I never got into comic books as a kid. Never was really allowed to read comic books. Heck, I remember I had 1 or 2 comics that I got along the way, and my mom actually Sharpied out all the profanity in the comic. Don't even remember what comic it was. Well, the two stars together. Wasn't his power from like some ancient Egyptian curse or something as well? Yes. By the time she stopped censoring stuff like that, I legitimately had kind of lost interest in even trying to get into any of that stuff. I have a couple comics now, but they're more just manga and stuff. Like, I have most of the entire Berserk manga series, leather-bound. I have the Hellsing manga series. And, yeah. Also, I picked up some Pokemon Adventure manga as well. Like, I do attribute some of the lack of comic book exposure when I was younger to my, like, not really caring much about superheroes and stuff. Like, while the stuff would have been magical to me, it was just not something I was exposed to. So I don't really have that sense of nostalgia or wonder for it. The abridged stuff can be kind of amusing. Like, I like the Sword Art Online abridged. That stuff's pretty funny. Sec, got someone I need to ban on Twitch. And banned. People like to come in and try and sell viewers and followers and stuff. Every time I see it, I just ban them. So I'd rather never have followers and viewers than buy them. It's one of those, I don't really see the point of getting viewers if I'm having to pay for it, you know? And if I'm paying for it, I would rather it goes to, like, giveaways for viewers rather than bots. It's super common on Twitch to get the viewer sellers. Like, I probably ban a good 10 or 20 of them a week. It's one of those I know the only reason why they sell them is because people buy them. It's like if I got caught buying viewers, then I'd probably lose any affiliate status that I have. And it's just not worth it. I know one thing I've thought about doing that might drive some viewers in is I have all those spare Humble Bundle keys, and it'd be tempting to have giveaways from that. Just be like, hey, at one point in my stream between this hour and this hour, I will be doing a giveaway for X number of people. Whoever says a message at the time that I call for it will get the Steam keys. Something that would require people to be there between certain times, but not set times, and have to type something that I say on stream to be entered for it. I figure that would be kind of cool. That could get people to want to come in. Because people always love free stuff. I figure that, to me, would be worth more than paying some company to spin up a bot farm for me and use stolen accounts to try and give me Prime subs. Like, I saw one that had even mentioned that they would give Prime subs. I'm just sitting here like, so not only are you using fake accounts or bots and stolen accounts, but you're straight up giving away people's Amazon Prime, like, connected Prime subs? Dude. Not cool. I do wonder just how many people on streaming platforms actually buy into that crap. It's got to be a decent amount for the sellers to be so incentivized to keep doing it. Which I guess just makes it all the more sad. This time I'll use a bit more of this stuff. There we go. Just gonna let you sit off to the side, buddy. What's up, Rue? You're looking longingly at the door. You just went out a little bit ago. She just had her walk before the stream. We've been going for about 2 hours now? Yeah, about 2 hours, 20 minutes. She should be good for a while still. My usual first choice for background music while painting tends to actually be, whatchamacallit, audiobooks. Quite often it'll be like Warhammer audiobooks, or one thing I'm wanting to re-listen to is the, Cycle of Iran, and then the Cycle of Dante. Cycle of Iran is actually pretty good. And the Cycle of Dante picks up right after the Cycle of Iran. Nice, kind of low fantasy with a little bit of high fantasy thrown in. I think the whole Cycle of Iran is like 180 hours or something like that. And the cycle of Dante is still ongoing, and right now it's about the same length. Pretty sure I've listened to the cycle of Iran like 3 times now. Yeah, I think 3 times is about right. Hit up these chains with this silver as well. But for that, I want a smaller brush. This one will work nicely. Or it should. Stop poking me with your sword. You've already got your paint. Go. Like that. Yeah, it's true. I can tell you're getting restless. I think it's more or less she just wants a treat or something. Although she is a spoiled little pup, she gets a lot of attention throughout the day, so me taking a couple hours to paint where I'm just basically ignoring her, it's not something she's exactly used to at the moment. before this, when I painted, I'd usually be like in the living room on the couch, and she'd be up beside me, just like occasionally getting little pets and stuff. Now she's most assuredly not getting her usual desired level of attention. A little more paint on there for that. Better. Good stuff. Yeah, I have 2 capes to do. Use this one and the blood red. Paint this underside black, because I do like the red on one side, black on the inside type look. some point soon, I also need to paint my Dungeons and Dragons familiar. I have a little imp that's gray and could definitely use some love. I realize I've got him a little bit far off to the side. My bad. Okay, I like that. Let's see, no other capes, no other cloaks. Would be kind of funny to put a cape on one of these dreadnoughts. But no, not doing that. Let me think here. Might just call it here. And then next stream, start doing some more detail work. Do things like the skin tone. Absolutely hate painting skin. Yeah, it looks like it's about to start raining, so I should probably get Rue outside before it rains. Okay. I think I will go ahead and call it here. So, well, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for joining me and all that good stuff. I hope you all have a lovely day, and see you all Wednesday for the next painting stream. Take care.